The energy of a show is just, it's as simple as attention. I always thought it was this big, crazy spiritual connection between the performer and the observer and all this and that. It's not that, it's just an exchange of attention. When the venue itself calls for a divide of that attention, the next step is to own a car and leave town. Something is just happening in Riverside right now that is kind of divorcing the music from the community. The performance is secondary. It's really discouraging to me because it's kind of like, well, where can we fit in a slot, for these musicians so that they can be like kind of background music. And the thing is like, I don't write background music. What if people actually listen to what I'm playing? And what if I actually get a chance to listen to people without distraction, playing what they poured their heart and soul into? I'm the kind of guy who's going to sit there and just piss and bitch and moan about it and not do anything about it. Derrick, on the other hand, doesn't want to hear it. He's already in the solution. Let's throw a show at my house and I'll invite Jon because he's over there complaining about things.
We are at Riverbend Commons. We are in Corona, California. Riverbend Commons is an intentional community that lives in the suburbs, and it's sort of like a co-op, except it's kind of based on the idea of family and living really in community with each other. We're going to have a bunch of people coming over to the house to listen to some music, local artists. Unknown people, I suppose, people who aren't recognized, who are struggling maybe in the music world. There's going to be a lot of wounds to be shared today, and a lot of feelings and thoughts that may be uncomfortable, but are expressions, and they're real expressions at that. And so to really experience that is just, it's rare. It really is rare to find people who are genuinely singing about something that has either happened to them or that they genuinely care about. It feels really, really good to be able to really bring this thing back to its roots, the music, back to its roots as an art, being appreciated in that way. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited.
Selena was the only one at the show that I had never seen before, met before, and so talking to her ahead of time and everything, she's pretty quiet and pretty shy, and then hearing her music is so much different than what you'd expect coming from her, because her style is so different in a way that it's so old, but she's so young.
She's doing what every songwriter ought to be trying to do. She's accessing that ageless part of us. She doesn't just write like that, she sings like that too. That's what the beautiful thing is her voice comes across as, again, she's not just giving us lip service, she's telling us what she really believes is the way things are.
Even the silence within her music, I really like the silence in her music, and it just worked so well for this show, because we're all having to be attentive to everything she does. So everything she does has to be very intentional. She has to mean for it to happen, and I think she already does that a lot in her music, And so when I'm listening in on it and all those small, soft notes, one note happening, or the rise in there's not very much rise, but the small rise that happens is just breathtaking. I'm right there with her at every single moment of her song. So, man, I was definitely happy that she opened up the show. I was definitely happy for that.
Once held my father's hands on a portrait he never finished. Crack on my nana's back in the chair she couldn't lean in. Her sisters dissing and breathing against the symphony, and I kissed at the sound and the beauty. Saw brother's arms unhinged when mother couldn't control him. Collected all her tears as she washed away all his sins. And I stood before a smoking garden, facing my own reflection, and I pulled the trigger. This wooden structure, virtue and kin in my childhood. Once in my promises, in a ring in a box under my bed, until I fell in love with a boy in my ghost in a closet. I've forgotten I was a daughter, lover, holding someone else's hands. Saw father's veins unhinged when mother told him what had happened. Collected all her tears as she washed away all my sins, and I stood before a smoking gun, facing my own reflection, and I pulled the trigger. Shattered the mirror. Family dog grows older and sicker.
she's mentioned to me things about social anarchism and different things like that. So whenever I think of that, and it's totally cliche, but I just automatically go to the punk rock scene because that's, you know, where it has been most appreciated and most talked about. And so I'm thinking she's gonna get up here and sing like some distorted raw thing that's going on, and she gets up and she sings softly and beautifully and kind of whimsically, and it just throws me off guard completely.
She brings both emotion and catchiness to her music.
There's just so much range in there that I don't think most people realize. She's got a lot of range.
Why Derrick's show and shows like that are so important is because I don't know of any other place where you can go and everybody is there with the purpose of listening to what an artist has to offer, you know. And I was thinking about how this area, the Inland Empire and Riverside in particular, there's not really a home base for musicians. If there was a center of this town, it's a coffee shop. It's Back to the Grind is the center of this town. Opportunities for me to play are limited to open mics and places where music is not the purpose of that place. Back to the Grind is juggling all these different jobs. It's trying to be like the cultural hub of Riverside, and then it's trying to be a business by selling food and coffee. They try to throw a show, but there's no way you're going to get them to turn the blender off because they need to make money. Well, Lake Alice is just the bar, you know? But it's great if you want to play, you know, if you want to play to a bunch of drunk people some old AC/DC and fuck up a Led Zeppelin song here and there. You could do that. Coffee Depot was cool because it had a stage. It just got shut down because it had a bad business model. Marquee 15, which is the quote-unquote premier venue for the Inland Empire, is a bar/restaurant. They have a big annoying stage to bother you when you're trying to eat your fucking dinner. Fox Theater caters to people who want to spend, you know, $50 on a ticket, I think. There ain't no band's gonna be playing at the Fox Theater unless you're 30 years out of date. And so it caters to where the money is. There was the Loft, there was Lyrics.
There was, you know, Showcase, the Anthems.
There was Tremors. They would do one of two things. They either force you to pay to play or they just shut down.
There really aren't venues anymore. There's bars and there's clubs and there's coffee shops. People don't go to shows on the weekend just because there's a show going on. People go to big shows to see big bands. You know, it's not like back when Showcase was around, and I feel like a lot of the music scene died with Showcase. You know, it was kind of like, oh, I have nothing to do this weekend, I'll just go to Showcase, see whatever show's playing. It was kind of like people wanted to be at shows. People wanted to go and hang out. It was, you know, a whole different environment.
Damn, I felt at home at that place for some reason. It was the venue. There is no such thing as that anywhere. It was for music, period.
It was, you know, a whole different environment than it is now, where like now the only time I can play shows is at the coffee shop, you know, when I book it myself. So it's just like kind of losing those places that had people trying to help out the local community scene made it so that it kind of died a little bit.
We can't go to a venue. There's no more venues. We're not going to sell tickets and we're not going to attract a bunch of people. Let's just accept that it's going to be an intimate experience. And let's just set it up at my house. Acoustically, you know? It doesn't need to be a big production. And that's what we did, man. And that night we got vulnerable. People got vulnerable with each other.
Mount of ash be stilled and centered out from which rises the children of fire.
Just every time Jon and Derrick strike the guitar, it sends some kind of electric pulse through me.
There's a real like urgency in his voice, but a very like very inviting urgency.
Inspiration found in faith. I'm bound by faith to lead them to the gate in which I'm so enveloped in myself. Little ones, the kingdom comes in your smiling faces. Do not let them snuff you out.
I never get bored of his lyrics, and I just take the time to listen to them, and every single time I listen to them, something new comes out of it.
The hymns in your voices, laughter, quake the sky.
Derrick's whole demeanor is freedom. That's what I think of when I think about Derrick. I think of like a free man.
Let it resound from the place that is caged by a carbon ribside, from the haze that can take our oxygen away, from the state that can rape you inside your skin. Wake from the waves that are raging with blisters insane. Is the gate that is shaped out for all our sins. Wait, will you play by the greatness that implements ways out of capable strength only comes from him. Stay here today and be bathed by his passion unscathed and so stable it shakes me down to my brim. Sway to the cadence he makes fast our entering straight. Set the fate betrayed by the world, but I pray you will say, you will say, you will say, yeah, in this great heartache I am seeing you. In this great heartache I am seeing you. In this great heartache I am seeing you. In this great heartache I am seeing you.
Once I heard him live, I think that's really when it started kicking off for me, an appreciation for his music.
It seemed like he took all my confusion and pain and exercised it.
No matter how hard your knuckles bleed, double doors are bolted shut. Your nightmares cease to live. You're waking after waking up. In dreams
he's got so much potential, and I love what he's doing with his lyrics and stuff. I think the progressions are definitely, we're definitely going to see some more dynamic and a lot more oomph. I don't know. He's got a lot of great acquiesce, but I just think it's going to be brought to the next level.
The thing that I spend the most time crafting will be the lyrics all the time, because that's probably, it has a ton of the ideologies or the things that I'm wrestling with.
In dreams, Can everyone just stretch while I go and wash my hands?
Sure.
Yes? Okay.
All right, great. I was just really wondering how people would take the format or how well it would be received, and everybody's, hung in with us as long as the show was and different things like that. They just really came along for the ride, which was great. I just love the idea of being able to really sit into somebody's work. They always say that it's really important to leave somebody wanting more. But with these types of shows, I just really love being fed. I really love being fed because then I'm ready to go and do the work that I need to do in my own art and in my own life.
People actually listened at the house concert rather than if I had gone to, Back to the Grind. There would be blenders and, people talking, people with side conversations. I would love to do a lot more of those, considering it's so honest and everybody's so open with each other and everybody respects each other, and it's just really good energy and a lot of love.
I really feel like the entire show moved me. It's been really one of the most meaningful shows I've ever played, actually. I was really moved by Selena, Derrick, Breezy, is it Jon? Man, Jon's lyrics, I feel like it was great that he was last. His music could translate well into like a band context, but that dude can play it just by himself.
I'm not making music, I'm just banging on strings, and y'all are having reactions to it, and that kind of magic, if you want to call it that, that's what I'm all about. It blows me away, I bow to it.
You got up on the stage, there's just this whole different level of sincerity and genuine emotion and expression that I was blown away. I've never really gotten to experience that firsthand before.
He puts things together in such an absolutely beautiful way, but to where you're just like, I have no idea what's going on right now. So I really like actually having to sit down. His music challenges me as a lyricist to try to understand the story behind it. So I really appreciate that about his music.
Dream, dream, you'll never have enough. You have enslaved yourself.
I still am just very much in tune with what he's doing, and I think he's a vital part of that. I don't think I do that on my own. I think the way that he plays his music invites me to be in tune with what he's doing.
Running takes time away from your heavy rest. And that won't happen. When I write a song, I try to give as much of myself to that song. I try to love on it and let it be whatever it needs to be. But the shit's not done until I take it to a group of people and play it.
Because he was beaten on my heart, and it's very different from the captivation I get from other artists like Selena or Walter, my heart starts beating. I start really just getting extremely excited.
His bare feet hit the pavement, a heat wave comes to claim its giant clouds over this sleeping town. There's a news flash from yesterday's paper. Welcome, new set of neighbors, quiet crowds, sleep in a quiet town. And door to door it sounds the same, but neither one can solve the case. And this is how, but he knows their cause. And the mats are placed in their proper place. Obedient maids have come to crave a job well done. They're deaf to every call. Sticks and stones would shatter my bones, but words will do much worse over time. And lives get so short and people get so hurt. The weight of an empty gut, merely looking for way to get paid. Dope sick, 24-hour, desperate with starving daughter, all in all. Somebody robbed this store. There's a skin show around the corner, midnight. Customer calls her, all in all. Somebody buy this whore, 'cause the city sleeps without a wink to see the night break denial. This is how, but he knows their cause. But I wouldn't say it was all for nothing. To a mate we made for something. This is how, but he knows their cause. And sticks and stones would shatter my bones, but words will do much worse over time. And I've got plans to cover the bases, kissing the faces of all my enemies. It's a way to kill pain. Time carries its weight around my room, and I've got tickets to the moon. Soon lights will pour in behind my eyes, and I got tickets to the sky. Now, all of it makes such perfect sense. I got music in the mix, and now watch all of it, see me care. I got music in the air, and now war will be waged on every street, and that is alright with me. And now darkness lays down my fellow thieves, and that is alright with me. And cold feet take me back from where I came. Gotta have that sugar cane, and I'm in your house. No, it is not my fault. And cold feet walk me back from where I came. Gotta have that sugar cane when I'm in your house. I gotta watch my mouth. I gotta watch my mouth.
I just really enjoyed this concert that we did because I was more able to just really listen in on what was going on. It was totally breathtaking.
Everybody there was so in tune with what was going on and like very interested in the artists and what they were trying to say in their music, and just, you know, kind of the response that I got from people was very different than at other shows.
It was so cool that Derrick held the house concert because people actually listened.
I need a listener. I need somebody listening to what I'm doing. It's music. It's not an advertisement, man. I'm not trying to sell you nothing. I'm just trying to share with you our humanness.
Goes without much to say, little bird, why you singing in your cage? Your master has locked you up and bound your limbs inside his chains. You say he's a blackjack man, a Syrian from Michigan. You sing he will shut me up and watch me die, but someday, darling, I'll be free. Midwest dreamer, why you so sad? Is the drugstore counter the only dream you have? You said you grew up poor, and mama always said someday, baby, you'll understand. But I've got rock and roll hips, hunting knife lips. I wanna get out